Hi everyone, this is Andrea from My World by Andrea, and I'm here interviewing today Khloe Wren. She is a fabulous writer. If you have not read any of her books, you need to go find her on Amazon, and we will be giving all of the places you can stalk her at later. And she writes biker. What else?
I write romantic suspense. It's at the moment all my latest releases have been MC or biker, but I've got a lot of paranormal stuff as well with shapeshifters.
Okay. All right, and we're gonna ask her some questions where she's going to be at. How was her time at RT in Reno, and what all she did there, which she was running around like a chicken with her head cut off. Everybody was going crazy. And then we're going to find out if she has any new releases coming out, any other signings, and anything else that she may want to talk about. So we were at RT a couple of weeks ago, and you were involved in a part of RT that most people were not, and most authors were not. So you want to talk about the parties that you were involved in?
Yeah, look, this RT was my busiest ever. It's my fifth RT. And I was really fortunate enough to be involved with a party that we put on for the booksellers and librarians. It was the Mad Hatter party, so it was based on Alice in Wonderland. So,
right.
I was Alice, so I got to dress up as bright blue and be Alice for the day, it was a great party. It was really good fun. Everybody gave their all and made it everything that it could be, and the booksellers and librarians had a great time, and us authors as hosts had an awesome time as well, so it was really good.
And then we saw the different characters walking around the hotel. Some of them were together, some of them were spread out, and it was different seeing authors dressed up as Alice in Wonderland characters, which was really nice. And of course they had to add a little bit of edge to it. Alice had a corset on and all that fun stuff, so we had to make it a little bit edgy.
We steampunked it. We steampunked it up, so
right.
And look, any excuse to wear a corset, I'm all over it. So if I can fit a corset into a costume, I will. And especially if it's an excuse to go buy a new one, which that was.
Right.
So, and I know Damon Swade was our MC, and I think he ended up with he spent an hour and a half with the makeup artist to get the butterflies on his face. So we
oh my gosh,
those costumes. So even though the actual party only went for an hour, most of us stayed in our costumes for the rest of the day.
Yeah, it was interesting seeing them walk around and trying to guess what character they were. Some of them were pretty obvious. Like the rabbit and all that, but it was nice. And so you did, after all the parties that you participated in, we had Saturday was the book signing, and that's where all the fans got to come in and either purchase books, sign books, take pictures and all that. So what did you bring to RT to sell and to sign?
My focus at RT was my Sharon MC series, and I brought the whole series, which at the moment is 5 books. So that's 4 full-length novels and 1 novella.
Okay.
Claiming Tiny is the novella. I had that to give away. It's only 20,000 words, so it's quite a small book. But I did I did a print run of 100 books to give away at RT, and I gave those books away at RT. So I gave 50 away at the Romantic Suspense Genre Party, which was, I think that was on Wednesday.
Right.
So I gave them away there, and then at the Giant Book Fair, I had copies of Inking Eagle, Book 1, Fighting Mac, Book 2, Chasing Towers, Book 3, and Saving Scout, Book 5 to sell. And first time ever, I sold out within the first 2 hours of the.
Oh my gosh, that's great!
Signing, they were all gone. So it's so hard to know how many books to bring to a signing. Like last year, I only sold a handful of books and ended up with heaps to bring home. And because I travel internationally, I've really got to be conscious of what I can fit in my suitcase.
Right.
So this year I didn't go quite so crazy with ordering the supply of books, and I sold out. So like, you can't pick it.
Right, and it's hard to guess, like you said, because you don't know how many people are actually going to show up, and you can only go by the previous time on how many you sold. So, but you're more well known now than you were a year ago. So,
yeah.
That's a good thing though that you sold out.
It is. It was a great feeling to have an empty desk there at the signing. Was just, yeah, it's the first time it's happened, and I'm incredibly blessed for that to have happened this time. I'm very grateful.
And so, how long have you been an author? How long have you been writing?
I started writing, it was about 6.5 years ago now I started writing.
Okay.
I've always been a reader. So, I mean, as a child, I read a lot. And as a teenager, I continued to read a lot. And then it was actually year 12, or final year of high school English, that ruined reading for me. Having to study the crap out of books just destroyed it. I didn't pick up a book for a long time after that. And then when I was pregnant with my eldest, I was in a really abusive relationship and ended up leaving my ex to move home, which was 8 hours away. And so I moved home, back in with my parents, and suddenly found myself with a whole heap of time on my hands because I couldn't get a job because I looked like I'd swallowed a balloon. So I started reading again then, but not overly much, just, a book here and there. And then it was when I was pregnant with my youngest, and she's now 7, so yeah, 7.5 years ago. The pregnancy was really rough, and I was really sick to start with, and then ended up with antenatal depression because I'd had a miscarriage just before the pregnancy was here, and I was still dealing with that. So I ended up with that, and then by the time I got over all of that, I ended up with really low blood pressure, so low that I could barely sit up without passing out. So that super restricted what I could do. I couldn't even do craft stuff. Basically, all I could do was read.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, that was when I found. So I've always loved paranormal stuff. So I started reading like Twilight and Vampire Academy.
Mm-hmm.
And then one day, went into the bookshop, and I said to the assistant in the bookshop, "Look, I'm sick of these books where you've got to read 5 books before the hero gets the heroine. Like, can I give me a book where it happens in one damn book?" And she gave me J.R. Ward's Black Dagger Brotherhood.
Oh, okay.
The first one, and Dark Lover. And I went home and I devoured that, and was back in there making my husband drive me back in the next day to get every other one that I could. It was only up to Love and Mine then, so was that like 6 books or something. I ended up reading those 6 books about 12 times by the end of the pregnancy. I probably know those books better than J.R. Ward does. And then once I kind of memorised them, I went back to this same assistant at the bookshop and went, "All right, give me something else." And that's when she gave me The Dark Hunters of Sheldon Kenyon.
Oh, okay.
And there's like over 30 books in that series. That kept me well entertained. And yeah, then I had my daughter, and I got even sicker after I had her.
Oh my goodness.
I ended up with, I tore quite badly, ended up with an infection, and within, the hospital sent me home 3 days after she was born, and 24 hours after I got home, I was back in hospital with toxic shock, septicemia, pneumonia, and a collapsed lung.
Oh my goodness.
Very sick girl. And then it was just a horrendous couple of years, really. So it took me probably about 6 months really to get over that because of the pneumonia. And then I finally got over that, and I ended up, I've got endometriosis and polycystic ovary syndrome. That flared up, and so I went barging into my specialist office and went, "Right, you're giving me a hysterectomy, I'm done with my reproductive system, I'm over it, take it away." And so he eventually did agree to that, and then I prolapsed in surgery.
Oh my goodness.
So that left me with 3 months of not being able to lift or carry anything, and then 6 months of not being able to lift or carry anything over 5 kilos, which included my kids.
Right.
So poor Steve ended up basically single parenting it, even though I was physically there. So it was that 3 months where I couldn't lift or carry anything that I got the idea for my first book, which is now, it's been, I've redone it. It's Guardian's Heart is what it's now called, but it was Her Guardian Angel originally.
Right.
And I don't know, like I said to my husband, I was like, I've got this idea, but I'm not sure if I can do it. And he kind of challenged me. He went, well, you've got a laptop. You haven't got anything else to do with your time. Why not give it a go? So I pulled up a Word document, and yeah, within a week I had 10,000 words, and
the rest is history.
Yeah, and now I've got over 25 published, and
cool.
Many more on the way.
Cool. Okay, and then is there what releases do you have coming out between now and like the end of the year, or maybe the first of the year?
Well, I have plans. I have lots of plans, but no firm dates.
Okay.
So, I guess the next, probably the next release will be the next Sharon MC book, which at the moment is called Tripping Nitro. So Nitro's girl is going to be a roller derby girl.
Oh, okay.
So
okay.
It's tripping. That's going to be good fun. So I'm working on that now. I'm hoping to have that out in August at this stage.
Okay.
Scott Nova is going to be on the cover, which you would have seen him around at RT.
Yes, I'm getting ready to interview him as well.
Okay, well he's my next Sharon.
Cool.
He did a photo shoot with Claudia at RT, and I snuggled one of those images. I've already got the cover all done up and ready to go, so I'm just going to get the book done.
Nice.
So I'm hoping to get the pre-order for that up next month, with a release in August. Other than that, like I've got so many plans. I've actually got my list on the wall on my whiteboard. The other Sharon book that is on the way is I'm going to write a novella for Scout and Marie having their baby.
Oh, okay.
The cover model for Scout, Darren, did a photo shoot probably about a month ago with
right.
the baby and posted up the picture, and I'm like, oh, it is so adorable. So I can't even write that a story. But he's doing another shoot next month with another little baby.
Okay.
And I will be getting a photo from that shoot for that cover. So I will be working on that novella as well. My other plans, I really need to get the next Fire and Snow, which is my snow leopard shapeshifters that live in Tasmania.
Right.
I really need to get the next book of that out. It's been nearly a year since the last release in that series. So that's on the schedule. The rest of the Kings of Sydney, I need to get onto them as well. I've got about 7 books that I need to really get onto and get writing. And my muse is kind of...
I was going to say, what is your muse doing during all this?
Not a lot. It needs to get busy. I actually fell in a bit of a hole last October, and I've been really struggling to get back on deck. And in March I went on a new eating program, which I've shed 20 pounds since March. So my body is feeling better, and then but my muse still wasn't
cooperating.
Doing. But thankfully RT has refilled my creative battery, and I came home with all these new wonderful ideas, so now I've just got to get them all out onto the computer.
I think that's RT is good for that. I know I heard a lot of authors saying that they were rejuvenated and they were ready to go back to the cave and write.
Yeah.
And which is good. Which is good. Do you have any other book signings you're going to be doing this year?
I'm heading back to America again in October. So I'm as a reader, I'm going to Readers on the River.
Oh, okay.
So I get to meet J.R. Ward for the first time. I'm excited about that. I'll be there as a reader.
Okay.
And then on the 13th of October, I will be in New York City for the first time on Staten Island for Tempting and Tantalizing New York.
Right.
And Darren's coming, and Michelle. They're both joining me there as well, which is
Cool.
It's going to be so much fun.
Cool.
So yeah, I'm one of the authors on their breakfast panel, and the Friday night they've got a patch party for one of the other authors, Janine's MC, which is going to be so much fun.
Cool.
I'm really looking forward to that.
Right. Okay. And I had asked the question when we were at RT of the authors to remember back to when they wrote their first book, and whether it was a positive or a negative situation for them. But I wanted to get their words of wisdom or encouragement to the new author that's just getting ready to come into this crazy world, or to the author who has just released their first book. What would you want to tell these people that helped you get through yours?
What I would tell new authors is to be brave. My biggest regret with my first book was I was so scared of getting rejected. I stayed safe, and I ended up going with a small publisher, and things went wrong there, and I had to pull the book back, and I was forced to self-publish it because no one else would touch it. So my biggest regret is not being braver with my first book. I wish that I'd been brave enough to submit that to Penguin and Berkeley and the bigger guys. That's probably my biggest regret with my first book. Other than that, I think the other advice I could give new authors is to not get caught up in the drama. Author world is constantly filled with drama that if you go looking for it, you will get so bogged down in that you won't end up writing anymore. Especially like indie authors, they're great, and we back each other up, and if you've got an issue, we've all got your back and we're there.
Right.
However, there's a kind of line there between backing up other authors and getting caught up in the drama. My best advice is be a duck, let it roll off the back, and just, let the drama bypass you, because you'll get known for being the drama queen, and
you don't want that.
Social media takes up so much time, and it's so easy to get caught up with it, and you end up, I do it so often, I get at the end of the day and I'm like, well, what have I done today? Well, I wrote about 3,000 words, all on Facebook. And, my husband likes to remind me how much I wrote before I had Facebook. So, be wary of how much time you spend on social media. It's so easy to get sucked into the time suck that is social media.
Right.
Be brave, and don't get caught up in the drama. It's probably the easiest. And research, like before you go with a publisher or whatever you're deciding to do with your book, research it. Like Google the life out of that thing and make sure that you're well informed about the decisions you're making before you sign anything.
Okay. And speaking of social media, where can they find you? Do you have Twitter? Do you have Instagram? Do you have all of that?
Yeah, look, Facebook is my main platform that I'm on pretty much all the time. Instagram would be my secondary. I'm on Twitter, but to be honest, I forget about it most of the time. I'm not a Twitter girl. I don't really get it. And I talk, as this interview has proven, I talk way too much to be able to fit stuff into 140 characters. So technically I have Twitter, but I'm never there.
Okay.
Facebook's the best way to catch me, and then Instagram as well, and my website, ChloeWren.com. I update that fairly regularly, and that's always got the latest news and releases and stuff on there.
Do you have a newsletter also?
I do, and I'm equally bad at sending that out.
Okay. Well, you don't need to send it out when there's something to report, so.
I haven't sent it out since November last year. I've had 2 new releases since then. It is on my list of things to do. I need to switch providers and reorganize it all and get onto that. It's on my to-do list.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, that's fine. I mean, there's a lot of authors who don't have newsletters, or they used to and they got rid of them, and then are thinking about, going back to them again. Because it's just easier.
Really, everything takes time.
Sure it does.
There's just not enough hours in the day.
And it's trying to find the time. I understand, you have a family and you're trying to write and, do all that. I understand that. And then if you were not a writer, if you hadn't decided to go into that area, what do you think you would be doing on a daily job?
Well, I was a legal secretary out of school for over a decade, so I probably would have just still been doing that just because I hadn't thought of doing anything else. In school, I wanted to be, there's a few things I wanted to be. I wanted to be a firefighter, professional firefighter, which I did do volunteer firefighting for a few years.
Okay.
However, I'm 5'2". I'm short. And when I was kind of reaching towards the end of high school, I had a friend in the volunteer firefighters kind of sit me down and go, well, we know this is what you want to do, but let me be brutally honest, you're not going to be able to do it because you just do not have the stature to be able to carry the apparatus and gear that you have to as a firefighter.
Right.
And at that time, there was only 2 female firefighters in the state, so they're like, it is going to be pretty hard. You're gonna really struggle with this. So I kind of sat back after that and went, well, got a point. And then I decided I wanted to do nursing, and I wanted to go over to Africa and nurse over there. And I ended up doing my back in on the course. So I threw my back out. And so I kind of after that sat back and went, well, if I can't even do the course, I'm probably not all that well suited to the career.
Right.
And that's how I ended up as an office job. And I really enjoyed legal studies at school, so I went into doing legal secretary stuff. So yeah, I'd probably still be doing that if I wasn't.
And of course, since we asked that question, then it's obvious we have to ask the other question: what would you never, ever, ever want to do?
No one has ever asked me that. Well, I mean, the funny thing is, growing up, like my mum was a bookkeeper.
See, they always say accountant. I was an accountant for 32 years. Everybody goes, "Oh God, I never want to be a bookkeeper or an accountant."
Yeah, well, she was an accountant and worked in an office. Then my dad was self-employed and he was a steel structural draftsman. And so I grew up saying I never ever want to work in an office. That was just never ever did I want to work in an office or be self-employed, because I've watched my parents struggle through that.
Right.
And so here I am. I spent over a decade working in an office, and I work in an office now technically at home, and I'm self-employed. And my husband is still a draftsman just like my dad. So
be careful what you say, right?
The only thing I've said that I will never be, that I'm holding firm to, is that I will never be a farmer's wife.
Okay.
Which become farming family, and it's like we lived in way out in rural Australia, and my parents bought a shop, the general store out there, and we lived out there, and it was I never ever want to be a farmer. I can't cook well enough to be a farm wife.
I see.
So, and I've told Steve that is one never ever that I'm not. I'm not going. That's really career though. I was trying to think, what wouldn't I want to do? I don't know. I can't.
Well, everything you said you didn't want to do, you're doing.
I mean, I'm sure there are things out there that I would flatly refuse to do,
right.
But I can't think of any at the moment.
Well, that's fine. I mean, at least you didn't throw out there like most people go, "Oh God, I wouldn't want to be an accountant." And I go, "Oh, thank you," and they go, "Oh, I'm sorry,"
I would be a working pest control.
Oh. Okay. All right. I know her day is just beginning. Where she lives. She's in Australia, and I appreciate her taking time. And we had to redo her interview because she vanished into the vapors of cloud somewhere, and I lost her interview because you could have seen her as dressed as Alice. It was adorable. I'll have to put a picture with it. I have pictures of you as Alice. The group picture of you guys, I'll have to put a picture with your interview.
And plenty of photos on Facebook.
She is, her interview is going to go up on my YouTube channel, My World by Andrea, and we're going to there were several other interviews done, and we're going to post that. And so as soon as that is posted, I will let you know. And then you can have a copy of it, and you can do with whatever you want to do. send it out to everybody. Say, oh, look what I did. But is there anything else you want to talk about? Anything upcoming? Anything new? Anything? Nothing.
Oh, my muse is working on all sorts of new ideas. I do have several new ideas floating around my head, but they're still processing. We can't announce anything yet.
So we have all this new stuff that's going to be coming out, and maybe different genres than what you're normally writing.
My muse seems to be fairly stuck on the MC thing.
Okay.
But I do have El Boone and I are going to work together on the Iron Hammers MC, which will spin off from Fighting Mac. And that's going to be werewolves.
Okay.
So there's a few little paranormal elements sneaking in here and there to the upcoming series, but I think I'll be writing MC stuff for a while now. I really enjoy it, and my muse really enjoys it. So.
Okay, but go check Khloe out, and it's Khloe Wren, Wren, and go check out on Amazon and check out her books. They're really interesting. She's a great writer, great storyline, great development of characters, that you will not be disappointed if you go get one of her books. And of course, we want you to go get her books and read them. But I thank you for taking time again out of your schedule and speaking with me again and doing this again. And I guess we'll say goodbye to everyone.
Yeah.
And
thank you.
this is Andrea signing off again from My World by Andrea. We'll talk to you guys later. Bye. You can stay on for a second, Khloe.